As soon as I said take your seats, you did. That was awesome. Yeah, it's a good group. Okay, well, this is the last breakout session, and you're here, and we appreciate that you're here. Nice job, you did it. All four? All 4 sessions? Nice. Okay. Well, I'm really excited. We have had so many great sessions already, and we have a couple more great ones right now. Chastity Robinson from Fayetteville, North Carolina, Star Director, will present this session.
Hi guys, how are y'all doing? So who really needed to come to World Tour for their business? Like, give me a shout, don't raise your hand, that's boring. Like, boring. Good, okay. I know that I really needed World Tour because I'm gonna be honest, 2018 was rough. And and the great thing is that I can stand up here and admit that, and I know that there's some people out there who 2018 was rough for them too. Raise your hand if 2018 was rough. Yeah, I mean, and the great thing about that is it doesn't have to be that way. You do not have to be not where you were in 2018, you don't have to be there in 2019. But the first thing I want to start off with, y'all, is who has ever earned a free trip with Scentsy? Give me a shout. Who wants to earn a free trip with Scentsy? Yes. And the one thing that I really want you guys to know is that we work for the most amazing company, that every single person that is with Scentsy has the same opportunity to go on these trips. And I was with another direct sales company before I joined Scentsy, and I can tell you that only the top people in that company are going on trips. You're only seeing the CEOs and maybe the top 100 people in the entire company. And what's so amazing about Scentsy is that everybody can go. I am no different than any of you guys. And I just want you to know that before you even listen to anything that I have to say, that we work for the most amazing company, and you really need to believe that because it's 100% true. So first off, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Chastity Robinson, and I am from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I am a star director. Chloe Cox, the amazing SSD, is my sponsor. I have been with Scentsy for 3.5 years, and I joined in 2015 on the $49 join kit. Anybody else join on a $49 join special? Aren't they amazing? Yeah. But what's really crazy is when I joined Scentsy, I was a single mom, and I literally had $72 in my bank account, literally. And when you join Scentsy on the $49 kit, after tax and shipping, you're paying 68 bucks, right? So I literally didn't even know if I was gonna get a kit because I didn't know if my bank card was gonna be declined. That is the situation that I was in when I joined. And when I joined, I actually told Chloe, like, I'm not gonna sell. I'm just gonna buy from myself. I'm already ordering $200 a month from you. Me and my mom are just gonna get free shipping. She was like, all right, we'll see. And I'm like, no, really, like, I'm not gonna sell. I just want the kit. It's $49. You're in Las Vegas right now. And that's what I'm gonna do.
I recruited so many people in Vegas. Yeah. We need to go back.
Yeah. Good times, right? So, and I was just kind of dilly-dallying around in it. But then when I saw that I could earn Shooting Star and a $200 kit or whatever, I was like, well, that sounds pretty cool. I like Scentsy. I want some new warmers, so I'm going to earn Shooting Star. And it just kind of went on from there, and I just caught the vision. I promoted to director in July of 2016. I promoted to star director in August of 2017, and I am going to hit superstar director this year in 2019. So since I joined Scentsy, I have personally sponsored 79 brand new consultants. And I do not tell you that to brag. I tell you that because I am no different than any of y'all. I am a teacher. Like, I have zero sales background. I didn't know anything about direct sales when I joined. I have earned every single incentive trip that Scentsy's offered. I've been to Disney World, New York City. I went to Punta Cana, but I actually earned top 100 for Africa. I've earned Europe, Mexico, Marco Island, and I am going to continue to earn every Scentsy incentive that they put out. And you can too. And you need to know that. You have to change the way you look at it. If you see those incentive trip numbers come out and you're like, oh, I can't do it, you're right. You can't do it because you're telling yourself that you can't do it. So stop that, first of all. And another great thing about Scentsy, and I promise I'm gonna get back into training, but I just wanted to, I felt like these things were really important for you guys to know. Scentsy gave me the confidence to stand up here and even do this. Because anybody that's in this room that knew me 4 years ago would have never seen me up here. I came from a very bad relationship, and I was literally at my lowest point in my life. I had zero confidence. I literally couldn't even imagine getting up here. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen me walking around with my gallon water jug, and I really don't care that people are judging me for walking around drinking that. I'm getting my ounces in today, so that would have literally killed me. So, and then the last thing that I want to say about me is that I was with another direct sales before I was with Scentsy, and Chloe had a really hard conversation with me and was like, look, you can be really great at this, or you could be really great at what you're doing with your other direct sales, but you can't be 100% at both. And she just had a really hard conversation and was like, I am gonna support you no matter what. I hope you choose Scentsy, but I really think it's time for you to give 100% to something. And after Chloe had that conversation, I prayed about it. I made the decision that I was gonna go 100% Scentsy, and I hit director 3 months later. So if you are trying to spread the wealth with doing all the different things, I encourage you to really think about where your passion is and know that Scentsy can and will change your life if you let it. So anyway, the purpose of this training today is to help you learn actions and activities that can help you earn incentive trips. But it's not just about incentive trips, it's about building your business in general. Because if you are doing all the things to earn those incentive trips, your business is going to explode. I went from a team of 5 to a team of 46 in 1 month. And that's not from me. That's from my team and everybody else catching the vision. So the definition of a goal is the object of a person's ambition or effort. The problem with that, though, is a goal without a plan is just a wish. So anybody can stand up here and say, my goal is to be an SSD. Great, I love that. And there's room for everybody at the top. But what are you gonna do to get there? You can't just set a goal and decide, I'm gonna sit on the couch and watch Netflix, like Kristen said. Like, you've gotta get up and move and do the work. Goal setting is going to be the foundation of your business, and it will determine your success for 2019. So while I'm up here talking, I really want you to think about some short-term goals and some long-term goals for 2019, because I know that I did not reach my goals in 2018, and that is no one's fault but mine. I had a baby, I was postpartum depressed, and I sat around feeling sorry for myself, and then I woke up one day and was like, no more. No more. If I don't hit SSD this year, that's my fault. I need to figure out a way to work my business. So, raise your hand, or actually give me a shout if you want to be successful at this business. I mean, who starts this business and doesn't want to be successful, right? I mean, everybody's scared. Everybody's scared when they first start out, and you just need to know that. And if anybody tells you that they weren't scared, I need to know what they're on, because I need some of that. Because, I mean, who is not scared? Like, everybody's scared of stuff. Like, be for real. Anyway. Successful people are out of their comfort zone. They hear no's and they teach others. Think about that. If you're sitting around in your comfort zone, how can you be successful? Nothing grows there. You're not going to grow in your comfort zone. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've heard the word no. Who cares? you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die because you hear the word no. Like, I promise, it's okay. And successful people also teach others to do the same things. So if you are a leader, you have to lead from the front. Teach them to do the same things that you're doing. And one thing that I feel so strongly about, not because it's happened to me, but because I've heard so many people talk about this. I'm sorry, I'm really not good at this whole microphone thing. If you don't have a good sponsor, please stop making excuses. It is not your sponsor's business. It is your business. You are an independent Scentsy consultant. Please do not tell me that you don't have a sponsor that trained you. I don't care. Scentsy gives you everything that you need to be successful. True. I mean, you're here in training. You can go to reunion. You can watch training videos on the training center. You can get on YouTube. Teach yourself. Please don't complain, because I just don't have time for that, and a lot of your leaders are not gonna have time for that. And I'm sorry, I'm just being so real, but that's just who I am as a person. So please don't make excuses if you don't have a good sponsor. There are women in here that I can point out to you right now that did not have sponsors that were supportive, and they're directors, and they're star directors, and they're superstar directors. Your sponsor does not define you. Okay? Yes. The quality of your business, the quality of the business that you have is based on the amount of people who are in your network. Think about the amount of people that are in your network and know that you are a Scentsy lady. Not the direct sales girl that's selling 3 things on Facebook. Do they know that you are the Scentsy lady? If they don't know that you are the Scentsy lady, you're failing at your job. Sorry, not sorry. They need to know that you are Scentsy. And ask yourself right now, am I ride or die Scentsy, or do I need to step my game up? Like, raise your hand if you're ride or die. All day long. I'm not asking questions. I know that Scentsy is successful. I know that I can be successful, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm a Scentsy lifer because I believe in it. And if you don't believe in it, let's talk, and I promise I can make you a believer, because, I mean, if you're not ride or die, I just don't really understand. I just don't know. Anyway, so another thing that I want to educate you on is annual sales and annual mentor. Do you even know what those things are? Raise your hand if you can tell me what the annual sales award is. Crystal, tell me about the annual sales.
I don't know what awards, I know what you have to get it.
That's what I mean. What are the qualifications for annual sales?
30,000 PRV between May 1st and April 31st.
Very good. Annual sales is an award that Scentsy gives us if you sell 30,000 PRV from May 1st to April 30th. Raise your hand if you feel like that's real hard and you don't know if you can do it. Me. And those of you that aren't raising your hand, I know you think it's hard. You just don't want to raise your hand. And I'm being real, because what really makes me upset, because in 2018, I felt sorry for myself and I didn't work. I missed annual sales by less than $4,000. Whose fault was that? Chastity's, because she sat around and felt sorry for herself and didn't work for half the year. I pulled my numbers this morning from this year. Do I still have some work to get to? Absolutely. But I'm not going to quit, and I'm not going to stop doing that. Who can tell me what annual mentor is? Krista.
14 personally oh my gosh, I can't talk anymore. Sponsored people who have certified from May to May.
Very good.
Hear that?
I'll repeat it. Annual mentor is for 14 personally sponsored, meaning you sponsored them, and this also means brand new people from May 1st to April 30th that certify. So they must certify. That award is amazing. And let me also add that when you earn either one of those rewards, you are getting paid by Scentsy. There's a bonus attached to those awards. Those awards are not as heavily advertised as they should be. I'm just being honest. but I teach my team. If you're not striving for annual sales and annual mentor every single year, I want to know why. If you're just a hobbyist, that's fine, absolutely. However, Scentsy gives us the opportunity for those things for a reason. For a reason, they give us that opportunity. And also, I want you to know that I missed annual mentor last year by 2.
Same.
Whose fault was that?
Me too.
Mine. Missed it by 2. I had personally sponsored 17 people. However, some of those people didn't certify, some of those people quit. You can't control other people, you can only control your business. So there's that. Anyway, if you don't know what annual sales and annual mentor is, you need to be striving for that every single year if you want to earn incentive trips, if you want your business to grow, if you want to do all the things. Another thing on educating you is income producing activities. I'm sure you have heard a million people talk to you about income producing activities. If you're not sponsoring people, you are not building your income for the future. And if you're not doing this for money, I mean, most of us join because we want to earn money, right? Or because you want an outlet or because you want whatever else. Eventually, you're gonna wanna grow your business. And if you're not sponsoring, your business is not gonna grow and you're not going anywhere. That is your income for the future. That is your number 1 income producing activity, hands down. The next income producing activity is bookings and parties. I mean, we're a party-based company. You should know that, right? The next one is following up. I mean, who went to a Maven breakout today? I mean, I see Katie in here, she rocked that out, right? If you're not following up, you are not being a good consultant, and I'm just being real with you because I wasn't following up for a long time because I didn't have it together, but the Maven app has changed my life and changed my business and increased my PRV. So if you're not following up, or you're not using a binder system or whatever, you need to have a system. Messaging your people on Facebook Messenger is not a follow-up system. Going through your phone when you're putting in an order at the end of the month and texting a bunch of people that it's a 10% off or you're trying to reach your goal, that's not a follow-up system. Quit doing it. They can buy from me, they can buy from her, they can buy from him, they can buy from anybody. Why do they want to buy from you if you're only talking to them when you have an order going in? Just being honest. Another one, and one thing that I say it's one of the most, they're all important. Another important income producing activity is building relationships. And some people don't feel like that's income producing, but yes, it is. If you're not building relationships with people, they don't care. Because most people are buying Scentsy from you because you're you. Because they can go buy the product from whoever they want to, but they're choosing you because they have a relationship with you. Are you fostering that relationship? Why do they want to buy from you? Why should they buy from you rather than me? Think about that. And the last thing I want to say about income producing activities is if you only have 30 minutes to work your business, raise your hand if you're busy. Work a full-time job, have kids, all the things, right? Like Chloe said earlier, if you're not busy, I got some work for you. I'll give you some stuff to do, I promise. But if you only have 30 minutes to work your business, stop making cute samples. They don't care. They don't care. Cut it up with a crinkle cutter, put it in a bag with the sticker that comes in scent of the month, and give it to them. They're putting it in their warmer. Who cares what shape it looks like? It's not that serious. If you only have 30 minutes to work your business, stop making samples. Are samples important? Hell yeah. You need samples. Scent of the month, if you're not doing it, come talk to me. We need to figure it out because Scent of the Month gives you a reason to follow up with your customers every single month for a brand new scent and a brand new warmer. Yeah, you need them. Yes, you need to make the samples, but that's not where your money's coming from. They don't care what it looks like. They just want the scent. So if you only have 30 minutes, you need to be having sponsoring conversations, booking parties, following up and building relationships. Please don't make samples if you only have 30 minutes to work your business. Just stop doing it. And doing all the extra stuff. You do not have to have the biggest and baddest whiff box. If you don't have a lot of time, stop making your own whiff boxes. Quit doing it. Unless it's something that you just really love to do and you have time to do that, perfect. But if you're like me with 2 crazy kids, a husband that works crazy hours, and I'm a teacher and just all the things, I'm not doing my own whiff boxes. Scentsy took that away from me, and they have given me something that I don't have to work for, and I'm utilizing my resources. Please just do income producing activities. Cut all the extra stuff until you have time. This is something I also feel really, really strongly about for the educate person. I'm gonna get into goals, I promise. I just feel like all this stuff's so important. A dream team list. Raise your hand if you actually have a dream team list written down. Not in your head, that doesn't count. All the hands if you have a dream team list. Anybody, do you guys know what a dream team list is? No? Okay, so a dream team list is a list of all the people that you know that you would love to have on your Scentsy team. This doesn't mean just every single person you know, but if you can think of the most successful person that you know in your life, they should be on your dream team. If you can think of a single mom that needs extra money, they should be on your dream team. If you follow some girl on social media and she's always really funny and positive and you just feel like she is a great person, she should be on your dream team list. Not in your head, written down. You're not gonna remember, you're not gonna do it. You're not. Or another person that should be on your dream team list are your best customers. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Your best customers and your best party hosts need to be on your dream team list all the time. And also I put people that I may just mention the joint opportunity to, even nonchalantly, I'll put them on my dream team list. Now, what do I do with that dream team list? I am building relationships with them constantly. Let me say this real loud for the people in the back. I'm not just reaching out to them when we have a join special. That's not how you recruit. If you are not constantly asking people to join your team, you are not going to grow. And I know sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, but I know that there's probably a lot of you in here that didn't join the first time someone asked you. Raise your hand if your sponsor or whoever you joined under asked you for a long time before you joined. You watched them for a long time. Half my team's here and half of them watched me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna give up on you. You're gonna be over here. Come on over to the wax side. Smells good. And they're here. They're here, and they're here at World Tour. And they're changing their life with Scentsy. And I didn't give up on them, and I wrote their name down. Because you will not remember every single person that you talk to about the joint opportunity. You're gonna think that you will, you won't, promise. You're not gonna remember. Now, whether that means you're gonna write it down in your phone or you're gonna write it down in your planner, whatever you do that you feel like is successful for you, you need to write it down. For me, it's in the back of my planner because I always have my planner. And what I do is I go and write dates next to that for when I am connecting with them. A lot of them I'm connecting with all the time because they're people that I just talk to all the time. But I know if there's some girl on social media that I wouldn't intentionally talk to all the time, whenever I'm looking at my dream team list, and I do this once a week, I'm gonna go comment on her stuff on Facebook. I'm not being fake, I'm building a relationship. Because people don't join you just because they wanna join you. It's scary. People join you because they trust you. And because they built a relationship with you and because they believe in what you're showing them. So have a dream team list. When you're following up with those dream team people, besides just building relationships, you don't have to just go up to them and be like, oh my God, join my team, please, 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 I have a goal. That's annoying. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably gotten cold messages from people about other direct sales that you have zero interest in, right? Raise your hand if that's ever happened. They literally don't even know you, and they're like, hey, join my team. Who does that? Why would you do that? Because Like, sorry, I can't help it. I just keep it really real sometimes. Nobody is going to join you based off of that. Like, that's not authentic, and that's not part of Scentsy's core values. One of Scentsy's core values is to be authentic. That's not being authentic. Build those relationships. And if you're struggling with how to have these conversations, just ask them nonchalantly, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Who cares if they say no? You're not going to die. I wish I knew how many no's I've heard in my life. Like, it's okay. Another reason why people join is because they believe in your story and you're sharing your story, and your story can change over time. I didn't originally join Scentsy to sell. I told Chloe I wasn't gonna sell. But now I am gonna sell, and now I see how Scentsy has changed my life. And they like that. Also, find what people need. Be the answer to their problem. Not everybody wants to join Scentsy and quit their full-time job. I do. Not everybody else does. Some people quit because they have a hard job being a nurse and they want an outlet. Some people join because they want friends. Guess what, guys? This is the first thing I've ever done where people actually like me. I'm being on, and you know what? Some of y'all are probably out there like, I don't like this girl. She's up there being crazy. And that's okay. And you know, years ago, I was not okay with that. I would not have been okay with someone not liking me. And I was a mean girl because I had no self-confidence. And anybody that knew me years ago, literally, I would look Chloe up and down and be like, it was bad, y'all. Bad. And Scentsy transformed me into the woman that I am today. And I know that God, yes, but Scentsy too. I have so much confidence that I never had years ago. And let me tell you something else. If you don't ask them to join your team, I'm gonna ask them. They're gonna join my team, and then you can't be mad because you didn't ask them first. Just being honest, if you don't ask them, the answer is always no. And if I don't ask them, then one of these girls on my team or in our group, we're gonna ask them, because we ask everybody, because we want everybody to be blessed by Scentsy. And if you don't think that you're giving them a blessing, we need to get it together, because Scentsy can change your life. It has changed your life. And we're just making it rain blessings over here. Like, that's what we do. That's what we do. Anyway, and only 1 out of every 10 people that you ask, statistically, are gonna join your team. Only 1 out of every 10. If you're asking 5 people and you get 5 no's, guess what? You haven't asked enough people. Have you remade your list of 100? Have you been intentional with going out and meeting new people? Guess what, guys? I recruited all of my customers. They're now all on my team. And I was like, oh, my PRV sucks. Yeah, because I wasn't going out and meeting anybody else, because guess what? Y'all probably didn't know this. I'm a very, very big introvert. I would much rather be sitting out there not talking to anyone. But I'm up here because my word for 2019 is to challenge myself. So that's why I'm here. Anyway, you need to be asking people to join your team. You need to be meeting them. It's okay. Massive partying equals massive sponsoring. Let me say that again. Massive partying equals massive sponsoring. If you're not partying, you're not meeting new people. If you're not meeting new people, you're not going to recruit. If you're not recruiting, you're going to stay where you are. And that's okay. If that's where you want to stay, that's fine. It is 100% fine to be a hobbyist or not want to grow your team or whatever. However, if you're ready to go to the top, we got to sponsor all the people. And all the people deserve this blessing. And that's just the one thing I feel like as women, and I know, sorry men, if you're a Scentsy consultant, but I feel like women really struggle with hearing the word no or feeling like they're bothering people. Get that thought out of your head, because that's the devil. He wants you to think that you're bothering people. You're not bothering people, you're sharing a blessing. And if you don't believe that you're sharing a blessing, once again, let's talk. Or talk to anybody on my team. or talk to Chloe or Kristen or somebody else, because I promise you that there are so many people that know that this is a blessing. Okay, massive partying equals massive sponsoring. Your biggest party hosts are your next team members. Do not be afraid to recruit your best customer. I've got about 5 of my best customers now sitting in here. $2,000 parties, $1,000 parties, all the people sitting right there. I wasn't scared to recruit her. Well, I was back then, because I'm like, where's my PRV gonna go? Then I'm like, oh, if she joins and is really successful, you are gonna make so much more off of that by getting them to be a consultant than the 25% you're gonna make off their one party. I mean, just saying. Why aren't you asking them to join? If you're not asking every single party host to join, quit being selfish. You don't need that PRV. That PRV can come from somewhere else. You can bless someone, and that business might change their life. So every single person needs to be recruiting your best customer. I know you guys are all picturing that person in your head right now. Why don't you want them on your team? What if they're successful? And what if they're not? If they're not, who cares? Continue to have a good relationship with them. If they decide the business isn't for you, they can still be your customer. They can still send you referrals. Do not be afraid to recruit your best customer. Front loading your calendar. If you don't have parties booked for February and March, we need to get it together, because you should already know where your PRV from February is coming from, all right? If you're not partying, you're not meeting new people. Something as easy as telling your friend, hey, go collect 10 orders and you can get some free and half off. You don't have to use the word party and scare people away. Ask them to be your brand ambassador and carry your basket party around at work. And when you say collect 10 orders, that's a whole lot more manageable in their eyes than saying $200. $200 is a lot to some people. It's a lot to me, it's a lot to a lot of people. But if you say 10 orders and they maybe get 8, most of the time, people are buying 6 packs of bars. You have your party there and you're meeting all the new customers. Next thing about customers is take care of your customers. They can buy from anyone, and they will buy from anyone if you are not treating them right. If you are not treating them like gold, if you're just throwing their stuff in a Scentsy box, dropping it off on their front porch, it's not labeled, they're not getting samples or a thank you note, they're gonna go buy from someone else, because they're gonna see that someone else really takes care of their customers. If you're not using the Maven app, get it together. We need to use the Maven app. The next thing is, if you have a team, and this is really important because it takes a lot out of you if you're a leader. Raise your hand if you're a leader, if you have at least one person on your team. Leadership's hard, right? It's draining, right? And sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, why won't they just do anything? Why won't they just do what I say, right? You can't control them, and you've got to let go of that. There is no amount of you telling them what to do or sending them trainings or asking them for goals that's gonna make them wake up and decide to do it until they're ready to do it. So if they're not ready, let it go, man. Like, you can't want it enough for them. But the big thing I was gonna say is that if you have a team, you need to remember that you need to spend 80% of your time on your business. I said it. 80% of your time on your business. You can't let your business die because you have a team. They are their own business owner, right? 20% of your time can go to your team. But if you have not booked any parties, if you have not had any join conversations, if you have not followed up with your customers, stop worrying about your team. Take care of you first. Take care of you first. Another thing about your team, y'all, create leaders, not leeches. I'm just gonna say it again. You need to create leaders, not leeches. Some people really hate me because they'll come to me and they'll ask me a question, and instead of telling them the answer, I'll tell them where to find it. I'm not telling them the answer. Love y'all, mean it. Go look on your workstation. Figure it out. And it's not me being ugly, that's me holding them accountable, because they are going to remember what they went and looked up a whole lot more than what they're going to remember me just telling them, right? So create leaders, not leeches. Teach them where to find the things. Then they'll know where all the things are, and they can teach their team to do the exact same, because it is draining when you have your team coming at you asking all the silly questions that they could go read a news tab article for. I'll literally say, check the news tab. I'm not answering your question. Love y'all, mean it. Like, it's just create leaders, not leeches. And the last thing I'm going to talk about this before I talk about your setting goals, and I want you guys to know this, is that it only takes one person joining your team to completely change your business. It only takes one. And you need to know that. And last, I promise this is the last thing about people. If you have someone that joins your team and they don't want to work, please don't hold value in that. That's not you. That's not your fault. That's them. Just know that you can still be successful whether 2 people join your team and both of them fall off and don't want to work. You just haven't found your rock star yet. Raise your hand if you found a rock star that has completely changed your team and your business.
The girl at the front.
Hush your mouth, girl. It only takes one and your business will explode. And I know that I say that to my team, and they maybe don't believe me at first, but then they've seen it happen to them. And their group goes from 5 to 20 in 1 month. It can happen. Okay, so setting goals. You need to have goals in your life and in your business. If you're not taking care of yourself personally, you need to do that, because personal development and self-love is the number one thing that you can even do for your business, because if you're not okay, your business isn't going to be okay. Every morning, I've started getting up earlier and I listen to podcasts, whether it's a motivational or Bible verses or whatever. You have to take care of you first. And another thing with setting goals is you can't just set a goal and not put an action to it. You have to act on your goals in an effective way to increase your success. And to give you the best chance of having success, your goals should excite you, but they should scare you too. If your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. I mean it. They're not big enough if they don't scare you. So really quickly, I want to run through this because I am running out of time. I want you to think about SMART goals. So your goals need to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So y'all know what specific is. You don't want to just say, I want to be more focused in my business. You should say, I will dedicate 30 minutes a day to my business. Be specific. Otherwise, you don't really know what you're reaching for. Everyone wants to be more focused. You need to be specific. Measurable. You need to be able to measure if you've achieved your goal. So instead of saying, I want to earn more money, you can say, I want to increase my PRV by 10% this month, and so on. Attainable. You don't want your goal to be so easy that you don't have to work for it, but you also don't want it to be so high that you feel like a failure all the time. So I will sell 500 PRV a month versus I will sell 5,000 PRV a month. If you've never had a $1,000 month, don't set a goal of selling $5,000 a month. You're gonna set yourself up to not reach that and get discouraged. This is my biggest thing about setting goals, and the one that I think is the most important is relevant. Is your goal relevant? What do I mean by that? Why are you doing this? Why are you setting this goal? Why do you do Scentsy? If you don't have a why, you need to get a why. And you need to get with your sponsor and really think and dig down about why you want to do Scentsy. I want to quit my job, or I want to be a work-at-home mom so I never have to miss any of my kids' activities. See where I said work at home? You're not a stay-at-home mom, you're a work-at-home mom. You work this business, and this is real life. If you don't believe yet that this is a real business, we still need to talk. Time bound. I will earn annual mentor versus I will earn annual sales this year. So yeah, I want to earn both of those goals. However, that's so vague. You know how you reach that? I will sell 2,500 PRV a month, and I will sponsor at least 2 new recruits a month. Do I need to do more than that? Yeah. But that's something that can ensure that you are actually working towards those things every single month. My goal every single month is to sell 2,000 PRV and 2 recruits and teach your team to do the same. If you do that, your business is going to explode. Because if you are selling 2,000 PRV a month and you are sponsoring 2 recruits a month, your business is continually growing. I want you to think and tell someone next to you really, really quickly, like super quick, like a minute, not even, one struggle that you had in 2018 and how you can be different in 2019. Real quick, tell your neighbors.
I got fat, and I can be not fat.
What'd you say?
It was about me.
It's an attainable goal. It's attainable.
I said I got fat, and I can be not fat.
All right, so hopefully you have came up with something that you struggled with in 2018 and a way to fix it. So I know that at the beginning of the year, I really struggled with PRV because I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wanted to just stay in my house and be depressed and not do anything. But then about halfway through the year, I was like, no more. I'm going to do it different. And I was intentional. And my PRV has increased by 30% every single month because I'm out there and I'm making changes. So remember your why. That is so important. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with today is just empowering you. There's a reason that you're sitting in this room right now listening to me talk. There is a reason you are here today. There is a reason you decided to come to World Tour. There's a reason. This isn't a mistake. This isn't on accident. There's a reason you're here. And on the other side of fear is success. So if you're doing something that you're scared to do, keep doing it. That's where success lies. That's where you're gonna find growth. That's where you're gonna find all the things. Like, just being honest, all the things are on the other side of fear. It's so scary for me to get up here and talk. I really, really, really hate it. And it's really scary for me to ask the girl at Target if she wants a sample when I'm checking out, or give someone a scent circle if I have really good service. It's scary. And some people may be like, why is that scary? It's scary because I don't want to feel rejection, and I know so many of you guys feel the same way. So fear, kick it in the face, do something to challenge yourself. The only person you should try to be better than is yourself. Quit comparing yourself to me, to your upline, to your sponsor, to the person next to you. Quit comparing it. Who cares? They're only sharing their highlight reel on Facebook, honey. You don't know what they're really going through. Quit comparing yourself. Just stop doing it. And I know we're all guilty of it, but if you find yourself doing that, I want you to think back to today when you had to write something on your name tag that said what you were good at. What are you good at versus what someone else is good at is completely different. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is just remember Scentsy's core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. You always need to be given more than you take. If you're practicing that with your customers, with your friends, with your business, with your life, if you're giving more than you take, people are going to flock to you. People are going to see that this is really changing your life. And if you're doing your business and it's not simple, and you're doing all the things and it's taking all the time and you can't maintain it, just stop. This business isn't hard. Be simple. Be you. Do not try and be the person next to you, or be me, or be anybody else. You need to find out who you are and own it. I know so many people are like, why is that girl walking around with that gallon jug all day? What is her problem? I know people said that. I don't care. I'm getting my 2 gallons in today. I don't care what anybody else thinks. And that's one thing that you really just need to gain your own confidence in. So today, when you guys are leaving here in just a second, I want you to think about what you're going to do when you get home, because this is no good if you're not going to take something from it and take action. So I want you to think about one to two things that you can do in your business that's going to change it. What is going to have the most positive impact in my business? The last thing I want to say is there is room for everyone at the top. There is room for everyone at the top. Thank y'all. Love y'all, mean it.